And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session with Robin from Legal Counsel once again, where she'll be talking about the SNAP and Medicaid changes for 2026. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Inclusion Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see us, hear us, let us know in the chat. Let's keep our TVs and cell phones in mind. But yeah, so you can review this session on our YouTube. Hello, YouTube, but make sure you take notes and or screenshots so you can get the most out of today. Besides that, Robin, please introduce yourself and your topic. Thank you so much, and looking forward to assisting you for our session today.
Thank you, Alex. My name again is Robin Griffin. I'll be talking to you about the recent Medicaid and SNAP changes. So, one moment while I bring up my PowerPoint to share with you all, and we can get started. Okay, for those of you who are seeing me for the first time, my name again is Robin Griffin, and I come from Legal Counsel for the Elderly, where we help seniors with free legal and social work services. We help seniors with everything from foreclosure, landlord tenant, public benefits like Medicaid, SNAP, Social Security. We also help with social work services. At the closer to the end of the presentation, I'll be sure to put our legal hotline in the chat. So if you need any assistance, you can give us a call and one of our attorneys will reach out to you. All right, so what are we going to talk about together today? Today we are going to talk about SNAP and Medicaid, some of the major public benefit changes that happened under the recent One Big Beautiful Bill that passed back in July. I know changes to Medicaid and SNAP can feel confusing and even worrying. So my goal today with you is to walk through what's happening in a clear and friendly way to make sure that you are supported and connected. So we're going to again chat about Medicaid and SNAP. Okay, so first off, we may already know, but for those who don't, what is Medicaid? Medicaid is a health insurance program. It helps you to pay for your doctor visits, your hospital visits, your medicine, even dental care. It's especially important for older adults and people with disabilities. Okay, so what's changing with Medicaid? They're changing the income eligibility. They're making some work requirements for Medicaid depending on your age. They also changed the recertification requirements. As some of you may know, we usually have to recertify for Medicaid once a year, and they are making changes to those requirements. They're also making changes to retroactive coverage. Typically, if you apply for Medicaid, they may cover up to 90 days before your Medicaid application. That 90-day period is also changing. And finally, they're all also changing coverage for immigrants. So we'll get into those five changes. Changes to the income, they're adding work requirements, they're changing the recertification requirements, and also retroactive coverage and coverage for immigrants. So let's talk about the income rules. The income limits for adults with and without children were much higher previously in DC, but starting January 1st, they're going to change the income requirements for Medicaid. So if your income is under 1,800 and 1,800 and you can stay on Medicaid. So they're changing the rules based upon the income limits. And again, these are for certain adults. adults that are not caretakers for a child or for another adult. All right, so if your income is between 1,800 and 2,608, you will be moved to a new program called the Basic Health Plan. And it's important to note that the Basic Health Plan covers less than Medicaid, but it still provides some help. If your income is over $2,608, you will need to look for coverage through the Health Benefit Exchange. And this is important to note because the Benefit Health Plan, it does not provide non-emergency transportation like Medicaid. It does not provide rehabilitative behavior health services. And also, it does not provide dental coverage. So I wanted to come today to make sure that we were all aware of the new income limits that are going to start in 2026, January 1st. Any questions about the income before we move on to work requirements?
Robin, we had a question here. Is the numbers for just one, it's just one person household?
Yes, the numbers are for a one-person household. I know, Alex, you're always advising people to Google, look it up. So if you would like the numbers, maybe you're a household of three, maybe you're a household of five. I would look up the new income rules. If you find it too difficult, let me go ahead and place legal counsel for the elderly, our number in the chat, because we can assist you with ensuring that you have coverage. We can also assist you with recertification. If you receive any notices that are confusing, any notices trying to terminate your coverage, you'll want to give us a call at our number. I just placed it in the chat, but I'll read it out for those who want to write it down. It's 202-434-2120. Again, 202-434-2120 is the number for our legal hotline. Give us a call if you, again, receive any notices about income or about your Medicaid. If you receive a termination notice, we're happy to help. I see we have a hand raised.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Doris. And then we have another question here. Thank you, Ms. Doris, for your question.
I wanted to know, is that your monthly income?
Yes, that's monthly. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I had to ask you. Thank you.
Great. Alex?
One second, Rob.
Yeah, take your time. No worries.
Yeah, so anything over one, it's just recommended to search online for the specific numbers for different household sizes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And just to confirm, so I see here this slide says 2026, but the next slide that you're going to talk about said 2027.
Thankfully, we will not have to worry about work requirements until 2027. So,
Great.
but it's still important to know what are the work requirements. So, work requirements will be starting January 1st of 2027. Some adults will need to show proof of working or volunteering 20 hours a week. But there's some good news. These rules do not apply to anyone over 65. So if you're 65 or older, you do not have to worry about working or volunteering 20 hours a week. People with disabilities, caregivers, or pregnant individuals can also find exceptions from these work requirements. But again, we wanted to make sure that we were all aware that starting in 2027, the work requirements will kick in, where if you receive Medicaid, you will have to show proof 20 hours a week of either work or volunteering, but you may fall into one of the exceptions. All right. Also in 2027, we talked about this a little earlier, but recertification, it used to happen once a year, right? You'd get the packet, you'd have to fill it out, put your income, other information. Now, recertification will happen every 6 months. So that's important to note. And again, sometimes the paperwork can be confusing. So please write down our number to our legal hotline. We can help you with the recertification paperwork, or you can go into your local DHS service center and they can assist you also. Now, oh, I see we have a hand.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Anne. You have a question about this slide?
Yes. That they is it going to be you said twice a year. Is it going to be right away or later on or
That's a great question because we want to know when it's going to happen so we can be
yeah,
prepared.
yeah.
So starting January 1st in 2027, Medicaid beneficiaries will have to recertify every 6 months. Right
Mhm.
now, it's once a year, but starting January 1st, 2027, we'll have to recertify every 6 months.
Okay. So will we be getting a package soon because the first is around the corner?
Well, this is 2027, so luckily you won't
Oh,
have to
okay.
worry
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
it.
I misread that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. But luckily we'll have 2026 where we can relax, and 2027 is when we'll have to recertify every 6 months.
Okay. Thank you, Robin. Good
Yeah,
seeing you.
thank you. It's good to see you too. So also keep in mind that in the past, if you filed an application for Medicaid, you could ask for reimbursement for any medical expenses about 90 days before you submitted that application. Well, starting in January 1st, 2027, that 90-day period is going to be reduced to 30 to 60 days. And that's important because, medical insurance is important. Getting the care that you need is important. So when you apply to Medicaid, it's great that they had that 90-day period where you wouldn't be responsible for those medical expenses. Medicaid would cover that. But I want you to keep in mind that January 1st, 2027, they're reducing that 90-day period and it's going to be 30 to 60 days. Also, in 2028, this is going to be October 1st, 2028, some Medicaid enrollees will have to pay a copay. It's going to be a $35 copay for services. Right now, luckily, there is no Medicaid copay, but in 2028, October 1st, some enrollees will have to pay that copay. And of course, you will receive notice before then. So these are some future Medicaid changes. Before we talk about the impact of these changes, are there any questions? All right, if there are no questions,
We may have a question. Can you
okay.
ask me?
They asked you before about for two people, for two. They gave you the information only for one. They didn't give you.
You know what? You're right. I only gave it for one. So let me take one
It-
moment and
yeah, I mean, if you would like to pull up that just the table,
yeah.
folks can see that would be great. But yeah, it would have been kind of difficult to show all in one slide, so it's perfectly okay.
Okay, I'm just going to take one
I think
moment.
it's just good to look at the baseline at first and then kind of going from there. So, while you look that up, Brenda, you have a question?
Yes. Does this same information apply to QMB folks that are
No.
QMB?
Yes, so luckily this is for Medicaid. It doesn't apply to QMB because QMB is the qualified Medicare beneficiary program.
Okay.
So luckily it doesn't apply.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
of course, of course.
Thank you for answering that. Any other questions about Medicaid changes, whether the ones that are happening more in the now and some that are happening in the future? Any other questions? Raise your hand. You can also unmute yourself as well while we have Robin pull up all the other numbers for us.
All right. So thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. And Alex, you're right. Sometimes we don't want crowded slides. So I didn't want to overwhelm you all, but this breaks it down for you. You know how we said before that it would be 1,800 for one person. So this takes it two people, 2,430. Three people, 3,060, and then you can go on until a family of eight. But this, keep in mind that this follows the federal poverty guidelines. So it's going to be capped at 138%. So if you're ever doing your own research online, you can look at, okay, well, what's 138% of the federal poverty level guideline? And then you look for your family size and you can see it there. But as long as you're within, you know, those income limits, you should stay on Medicaid. If you're in between 138 and 200, they're going to move you to that insurance plan. If you're over the 200% limit, then you'll have to go to the insurance exchange to try to find a plan. And one of the reasons why I wanted to come and speak to you all today, because there's a difference between Medicaid and the new plan. As we talked a little bit about, with Medicaid, you have transportation, you have dental, you have mental health services. The new health plan is not going to offer those services. It's still good because you want to be able to have health insurance for when go to the doctor, but you may not have all of the services that are included with Medicaid. So what's the impact? What's the impact of this? Currently, DC has one of the lowest uninsured rates, which means a lot of people in DC, they have insurance. Only about 2.7% of people don't. But by 2026, because of the income limits, it's looking like, maybe 25,000 DC residents or so may lose their Medicaid coverage. So my goal in coming to speak to you today is if you're over the income limit, you can start looking into the health plan, start looking at other options. If you're 65 or older, you can look into Medicare, QMB, to make sure that you're protected. We also wanted to make sure that we were all aware of the new recertification rules, the work requirements, so that when January 1st, 2026 happens, we can all be prepared. Okay, and I do
I think
see a
there's one
question.
question in the chat. Yes, there's one question in the chat, and I think we'll go on to Snap after that.
Yes, so in the
That's
chat
a
there,
great question.
yeah, they're asking if we can share information about DC's basic health plan. And again, I would advise you to Google the DC basic health plan and also go on the Department of Healthcare Finance's website because they have some really in-depth information that's easy to access on their website. But as I said, there are just some few differences between the basic health plan and Medicaid, like the absence of dental care, transportation, and behavioral health. So I would advise you to look into the Department of Healthcare Finance's website where they list some pretty in-depth information about the basic health plan there for you. But thank you so much for asking, Mr. Irvin. All right, so next we are going to talk about SNAP. For those who don't know, SNAP helps low-income individuals and families to buy food. It's what many of us know as food stamps. All right, so what is changing with SNAP? Again, we talked before about the work requirements for people between the ages of 18 and 65. But remember, there are also exceptions. There are exceptions if you're a person living with a disability, if you're a caregiver, if you're a pregnant individual. Um, if you meet any of these exceptions, you will not be required to work 20 hours per week or to volunteer 20 hours per week. It's important to also note that the next change with SNAP is the utility allowance. So in the past, we got the maximum utility credit even if we didn't pay our utilities directly. The way that SNAP is calculated is that you get a maximum utility credit. Now, with these changes that are set to begin January 1st, most households are going to have to show proof of utility expenses. But I want you to know that if you are disabled or if you are elderly, you're still going to get the standard allowance for the utility allowance for SNAP. But we wanted to make sure that we were all aware of these upcoming changes because, you know, having that maximum utility allowance really helps with the SNAP calculation. And so we wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that coming change. All right, so what do we want you to take away from this presentation today? We want you to know that legal counsel for the elderly is here for you. We want you to know that if you need assistance, you can call our legal hotline at 202-434-2120. If you receive a confusing notice concerning your SNAP or your Medicaid, give us a call because we are happy to help. Okay, I see in the question, Miss Washington wants to know, what is Medicare QMB? Okay, so QMB is Qualified Medicare Beneficiary. QMB is a great program here in DC that will pay for your Medicare premiums. So if you're 65 or older and you're getting Medicare, you'll notice every month when you get your Social Security benefits, $185 is taken out for your Medicare benefits. If you apply for QMB, QMB will pay the Medicare premium, which is currently $185. Next year, it's going to be raised higher, but QMB will pay that premium. They also pay copays. They pay deductibles, and it's cost sharing. So QMB is a great program that I advise everyone, if you're on Medicare, then you should definitely look into QMB. And if you need assistance applying for QMB, please call our legal hotline at 202-434-2120, and we will help you to apply.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And thank you all so much for your attention and your participation today. Again, like I said, I just wanted to come today to highlight the upcoming changes with Medicaid and also SNAP. And we have a few more minutes if anyone has any questions about Medicaid or SNAP.
Robin, is there Spanish speaking folks at the hotline?
Yes, we have Spanish-speaking attorneys, paralegals, and legal assistants who are standing by, ready to help you. As I said, we not only help with Medicaid and SNAP, we can help with foreclosure, eviction. If you're having an issue with your apartment, with maybe it's an accommodation issue, we can help with that as well. We provide free social work services. So please give us a call at our legal hotline at 434-2120. We're standing by ready to help. We also have translation services. So if you or someone you love, if you speak a language other than English or Spanish, we can get translators who can help you.
Hi, Denise. You have a question about SNAP or Medicaid?
Oh,
Thank you.
yes. Hi. I would like to know the SNAP program. Why is the benefits I get so low? Because I get $30 a month. I appreciate it, but I was like, I've been getting that for a while, but I live with my daughter, but um, it's so low. And I'm wondering, I can't hardly buy anything with that. I mean, I can get some bread and eggs and whatever, but I don't understand why. But they give other people that receive it, and they might not have an income or whatever, but they get like three and $400, and I don't
Right.
understand.
That is a great question, Miss Jackson. Thank you so much for raising it. And you have two options. So your
Mm-hmm.
first option is you can call our legal hotline and we can meet with you. We can look at your income. We can also look at your deductions because SNAP has different deductions that if you maximize those deductions, you can raise your SNAP benefit amount. They look at what your housing cost is because we all know how expensive rent is in DC. So if you're paying a high rent, we can submit that to DHS and they can calculate that to see if they can raise your benefit. They also
Mm-hmm.
look if you're one of the grandparents who are caring for a grandchild or another family member and
Mm-hmm.
you're paying for daycare services, that can also be deducted. If you have
Mm-hmm.
an old child support order, you can deduct that as well. So you can either call us at Legal Counsel for the Elderly and we
Mm-hmm.
can look at it and contact DHS to have them recalculate your payment, or you can go to your local DHS service center with, proof of income and all of
Yes.
your deductions, like what you pay in rent, if
Mm-hmm.
you have a mortgage, what you pay in homeowners insurance, and you submit that and they can recalculate your payment.
Mm. And one more question I have. When you was talking about them taking money out to Social Security 185, well, they've been
Yes.
taking it from me since July. Because I applied for the Q&B and I was waiting on them to give it to me. Now I received the Q&B started I think November the 1st or however, but they supposed to be giving me my money back
Yes.
and but they still taking it out. And I
Yeah.
called Social Security and they told me to call DC Medicaid because they didn't see anything. And I called DC Medicaid and they said they were going to send it to them again. And
Mhm.
I'm still waiting now. So does it take a while for them to reimburse your money back to you?
Luckily, they will reimburse you if you were approved for QMB just in general.
Mm-hmm.
There's a breakdown in communication between the district and Social Security sometimes, and we have to help people to get that reimbursement. So again, you could either call our legal hotline for help, or you can
Mm-hmm.
just wait and give them time because they will reimburse you. It may just
Yeah.
take a moment because
Okay.
DC needs to communicate with Social Security
Yeah.
that the person was approved and then they need to start covering the 185 and they'll reimburse you. They
Oh,
will.
okay. I
Yeah.
appreciate because it's been a struggle. That 200 almost every
I
month. Oof.
mhm,
It's
I
really setting me
understand.
back a little bit, but I appreciate the answers.
Of
And you
course,
have a
thank you for
good,
your
blessed,
question.
safe holiday.
You too. Thank you, Miss
And I'll
Jackson.
see you next year.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Alex.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Denise. We have Ms. Dina on for a question. Thank you. Just saying, I appreciate Robin your time very much.
Hi, I'd like to know, is there a program that will assist a family member for care?
Oh, EPD waiver. EPD waiver, if your family member is elderly or disabled, we help people to apply, or if they receive like a termination or try to reduce your hours. We help people with the appeals, but EPD waiver helps you with an aide who can come in, help you cook, help you clean, help you do errands. So if you're interested in applying for a family member, I would reach out to DACL to get the process started to do the application, or if not, call us at our legal hotline number and we can help you as well.
I just put down
Thank you, Alex.
in the chat.
Thank you.
Did
And
that answer you, Miss Dina? Did that answer your question? Ms. Dina, did that answer your question for you? Okay, I see. Let us know. But for the previous question, Robin, we did an excellent session a few months ago on that calculator. So checking in on your public benefits. So especially with all these changes, I recommend everyone call that number if you feel like you need a public benefits check-in.
yes, that's right. It
Please do so.
is going up. I'm sorry, I saw the comment about Medicare going up. It is going up next year from 185, and I think they put in the chat to $202.90. So if you receive Medicare, I would definitely apply for QMB because they'll cover that for you and they'll leave more money in your pocket. Well, thank you all so much for allowing me to be here with you. Thank you for your participation and your questions. And I look forward to joining you all next year in January. I hope you have a happy holiday and a happy new year. And thank you so much for allowing me to come every second Tuesday. I really appreciate you.
Thank
Miss
you so
Washington?
much. Oh, do you want to answer that and then go, Robin?
Sure,
I know you have to go.
sure.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, of
Dolores, you
course.
had your last question. Everyone else, please use the hotline number. But Miss Dolores, please hit unmute in the middle and
Yes,
ask a question.
yeah, thank you. I just want to know who do I call to get that QMB form?
Oh, they have the QMB application online if you want the form so you can fill it out. But if you need help, just call our legal hotline and we'll help you apply.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful afternoon and take care.
Let's all thank Robin for a wonderful session today.
Thank you
Thank you,
all.
Thank you,
Robin.
Thank you,
Robin.
Happy
Happy
New Year.
Christmas, Robin.
Thank you,
Thank
Robin.
you. Have a good
Robin,
holiday.
have a nice day.
Stay safe.